Hello YouTube, this is another video from Super Apple Forever. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, but the reason I haven't been able to is because the ScreenFlow uh, hasn't been working for Lion since just about 3 or 4 days ago. An update came out. So yeah, I haven't been able to make a video on my MacBook Pro since Snow Leopard, which was about 3 months or a long time ago. When Beta 1 of Lion came out, I automatically upgraded my MacBook Pro and my iMac, which I don't have anymore, but I still have the MacBook Pro. I don't know if it was such of a good idea, but it has been working. Um, of course, the most problems I had was on my iMac. iMovie was acting really funny, and even on the MacBook Pro. But Beta 4, which came out a few uh, weeks ago, is working very well. So this is pretty much the rock hard thing, and this is pretty much the real thing. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do is give you a tour of Lion, and I'm gonna show you all the new features, and I'm gonna show you, just about everything you'd want to know about Lion. So this is pretty much the real thing. So we'll get started. Okay, so the reason I paused is I just wanted to make sure I had the most up-to-date version of Lion. So this is Lion Beta 4. This is the most up-to-date version as of July 6th, 2011, and it's pretty much the real thing. So you can see here 10.7, and I'm on a 2011 MacBook Pro, 2 gigahertz quad-core i7 with 8 gigs of RAM maxed out. I really don't know how that would help with this video, but I just wanted to say that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I'm happy to see that it is going to work on the Core Dual processors, which was before Core 2 Dual. Um, so all the first generation Intel Macs are going to be able to run Lion. I've seen a few videos of, well, I actually saw one video of a YouTuber named Amazed Alex. I recommend subscribing to him. He has pretty good videos. I saw that he has uh, a first generation or a second generation MacBook, uh, which is Intel Core Dual, and it was running the Lion preview. So, if you have a really older Mac, anywhere from 2006 to probably around 2008, you're okay. You can so this will run on any Intel Mac, luckily. Of course, not PowerPC, which is really sucks. Of course, I wasn't expecting it to work on PowerPC, but yeah, that sucks. But I still do use PowerPCs. But anyway, I'm going off track. So the first thing you'll notice is if you press more info on your Mac, it's not going to open the standard system info. It's going to open this interactive kind of thing. You can see the picture of your Mac, which I think this is a 13-inch. I don't know if this is a 15-inch, but anyway, you can see that it's got actually the one thing I noticed is it's got the tiger background. The old school tiger wallpaper, or like from Mac OS 10 .0 to Tiger. So Apple, if you look at the stuff that's in the OS, Apple sometimes has very older pictures of their Macs. So this isn't a modern background. I just wanted to point that out. But you can see you've got all of the info here. Your processor, your memory, your graphics card, serial number, and software. So you can check for updates here, and you can do a system report. And this is what brings up the full system info. So this is the real thing that you'd see if you'd press this on Lion, or on Leopard or Snow Leopard. So we can just get some more stuff here. Display, the 15-inch display and the resolution, and then your graphics card, and the picture's still there. Storage. You get an iTunes kind of thing. So you can see this is my hard drive. I'm actually kind of low on space, and this is Boot Camp, and this is your super drive, and then this will display everything, or this is your optical drive. So this will display what your optical drive can burn on, or burn. So right here we get a nice memory thing. This will tell you how much how much memory you have in your computer. So there's 2 slots in the MacBook Pro, and each one has 4 gigs in it, which means a total of 8 gigs installed. So support, and these will just take you to Apple's website and service. So that just tells you about AppleCare. So this is very much more friendly than the standard system info. So that's the first thing that you might notice. The next thing that I'm going to show you is system preferences. Now, one thing I did notice when downloading the beta version of Flash for Lion is that you get your own tab in system preferences. I'm not a big fan of Flash. I like HTML5. It's not as hardware demanding. But I guess I'm just being an Apple fanboy. But anyway, you can see um, you get a lot of settings here for Flash playback and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, mostly everybody has Flash. I mean, you really can't use the internet without it. So yeah, we also get mission control here, which is a new thing for Lion. And you can just set all of this. So this is mission control. If you don't know what it is, it's basically taking expose, um, spaces and all that stuff and putting it into one um, little gesture that you can do with the trackpad, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, you can just mess with the settings here. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much everything with system preferences. Not really that much of a change. The next thing is Finder. Now Finder is changed up a little bit, but not completely. As you can see here, it's still working. It still looks the same as it would on Snow Leopard or something. You can see what you get, like a little kind of different interface with it here, and it's nice to have this different kind of interface. You get cover flow, which is nice. So this is just mostly all the stuff you might want to look at, unless you're gonna go look at something else. This is just the basic stuff here that you're mostly gonna look at in Finder. So images, PDFs, all that stuff. Airdrop. What Airdrop is, it's a kind of new thing. If you all of this stuff is explained in better detail in WWDC 2011. So if you really want to know a lot about this, you can watch that video on Apple's website. But really what Airdrop is, and I'm just summarizing this, it's a way to, instead of doing all the file sharing stuff that you would do in Snow Leopard or Leopard, to share files through computers. What this will do is show all the Macs that have Lion, and you'd have to have Lion to do this. So I already know that there's more other Macs in my house, but they just don't have Lion, so you're not going to see them here. But if they have Lion, then what you can do is drag a file. Like let's say there's another circle here with another person. I can just drag a file into that, and it will send it to the computer. And of course, you'll get a message, or do you want to accept this file from the person that has sent it to you. So it's just a simple way to share files without any system preferences stuff. It's just really simple. So desktop, I mean, you just get the standard Finder with this. I can go into stuff. I can go, YouTube videos if I wanted to. And yeah, so that's basically pretty much it. You just get your standard Finder after that, except for the icons have changed. And I actually like the old icons, but that's just my opinion. Um, another thing you'll notice is while I'm scrolling, you can see how it's got kind of an iOS thing to it. And something else you might be noticing is that there's no scroll bar here. And I'll explain that in better detail once we go into Safari. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing except for the icons and of course the AirDrop. One other thing I forgot to say is that on the desktop, in all the other versions of Mac OS 10, you would have your Macintosh HD right here. But for some reason it's not there, and for some reason it's not in the Finder. So I've needed to access my Macintosh HD. So what I've had to do is type it in. Sorry, I typed it wrong. and I'd have to this Mac, and then you can see it right here. So what you can do, I think, or actually you can't do this. So you can't drag it to your desktop. You'd have to type it in, and then you'd have to search your whole Mac to get to your Macintosh HD and go into System or anything else. I think that Apple's just trying to hide it from you just to make it more simple for people that want a simple computer, but for pros, it's a little harder to get to that kind of stuff, but it's still there. So the next thing we'll talk about is mail, and hopefully I don't have anything in here. Okay, so yeah, I just have eBay stuff. But anyway, you can see, um, you know, it's a lot different. It's like the iPad version of mail. You get this side-scrolling thing here, and you get you get your mail right here, which it will show all of your if you have if you're having a conversation with somebody, it will show all of your responses and messages to the person. So it just simplifies it, and it names it or it numbers it for you, and it just makes things simpler. If you want to see the or actually no, there's a way to look at it the old way. I'm just not. I don't know how to do that. I thought it was just double clicking on it, but there is a way if you don't like this for whatever reason. You can open it in the old way, which would just be lining them all up with those lines and stuff. But if you want to see the messages individually, you can click that little arrow, and then you can see all of them there. So yeah, it just simplifies things. Um, I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired, but yeah. So you don't have all these messages, but it's pretty simple. Also, the search for if you want to search for a message, it's a lot clearer. You don't have to type in a whole word. You can type in maybe a few letters, and it will find a message. So yeah, the search has gotten a lot better. Other than that, under the hood, it's pretty much the same. The preferences are the same. Everything's yeah. So it's just a lot uh, different outside, but once you really get into like the preferences and stuff, it's still the same thing. So just the outline of it has changed. The next thing we'll talk about is iTunes. Now, I don't know what really changed here, but I am running a developer preview of iTunes. Or I'm sorry, I went to the wrong thing. It is 10.5, I think, of iTunes. So it is a developer of iTunes right now. So you can see developer. That means developer. You can look it up if you want. But I just wanted to show you this. I don't really see what's changed, but it is a updated version of iTunes. Of course, this is going to support the iCloud stuff and the over-the-air syncing and all that. But I just wanted to point that out. So the next thing would be Safari, and this is probably, in my opinion, the program that has the most changes in it. Um, so yeah, it's got a lot of new stuff in it. You probably can't notice it by just looking at it, but it does have a few things in it. The first thing you might notice is the loading bar. There's no separate button here. It's just one bar for the adding a bookmark. So we'll just go to Apple, and you can see that the blue status bar goes from here all the way to here. So that's one thing I noticed as soon as I started using it. That was different. The next thing would be um, this, and this is basically a little thing that you can use to save pages that you want to read later. Like, let's see, I click on this, and I want to read about iCloud, but I have to go. So all I have to do is click add this page, and let's say I'm going to look at something else, and then I get back and I want to read that. All I have to do is click on it, and it'll take me back to that website, and once I'm done reading it, I can just click out of that. So without having to bookmark a page, you can just use this to help you keep track of things you might want to read on CNN or something. So it's just a really simple way to do that instead of just adding a bookmark and then having to delete it later. Um, Other than that, one thing you'll notice is the scrolling, and this is how I really wanted to show you the scrolling. It's a lot different than any other Mac OS X version. You get kind of an iOS look of the scrolling, and you get a different scrolling bar. So if you still want to click and drag, you can still do that. Um, but this saves space, obviously, and you don't have that scroll bar there all the time. So if I go over here, you can see that it's left. It keeps things cleaner, really, and simpler. The old scroll bar really didn't bother me, but I guess it did to some people. But I mean, it's nice to have a change, I guess. Another really big thing here is downloads. When you download something, it will download in this thing. It's still like basically the download window, but it's right here, which makes things a lot simpler. Um, so yeah, I really like this. I was tired of having to click out of the downloads window every time I downloaded something. So let's say I want to see, like this torrent file. I just click here, of course, and it will take me to my downloads. So it's just really simple. Um, and I think you actually have to customize Safari to do this. Of course, I've customized Safari quite a bit. So you right click and customize toolbar, and then all you have to do is just drag this download thing right here and let go. And let's say I don't want that, I can just drag it out. So this is something you can do with any version of Safari. You just right click on the top and then you click customize toolbar. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Of course, we still get Safari expansions. Preferences are the same. So yeah, I'll just show you some browsing. I mean, it's really not that different. I do like this the status bar though. I always like the aqua look. So yeah, you can see, like, we'll just look at this real quick, like what's new and stuff. So yeah, um, so anyway, we'll just quit Safari, and the next thing I'll show you is a pretty cool thing that you can do. You put 5 fingers on the trackpad and you swipe away from it, or you swipe towards it. It's a little tricky at first, and this is like the iPad, if you will. You get all of your apps here. I don't really use it. It's just I just play around with it sometimes. I really don't use it for anything serious because I always have my applications folder right here, and I think it's easier just to go to my app folder than to do the swiping thing. But anyway, you can kind of customize this as if you were in iOS. So I've customized it a little bit, not too much. I put all my Grand Theft Autos in here. I put Office stuff in here. This was already like this. You get all your utilities. So yeah, this is just a nice way to organize your apps. The next thing is mission control. And I'll just open up some windows to make this look better. So yeah, this is mission control. You can look at your dashboard from here, which by the way does look a little bit different, and I'll talk about that again later. And you can see all your windows open here. So it's just a really nice way to look at your stuff that you have open. And so the dashboard, to get to the dashboard now, you can of course still press the button, or you can use your 4-finger swipe on the trackpad, or on your magic trackpad, or whatever you're using. So you still get all your widgets here, and you can press that arrow if you'd like. You can of course add them. So yeah, it's still the same old dashboard. It's just in a different place, and it works a little bit differently. Um, One thing that a few people will worry about, including myself, was the status of your programs. In developer 1, 2, and 3, I believe, I know it was 1 and 2, when you would have opened a program, the light under the dock wouldn't come on, so you wouldn't know what programs you'd have open. So what I would do is just go to force quit, and it will show you all your programs open, but we don't really need to worry about that since we're not using that anymore. But I was worried. Of course, Apple did put it back. I guess it was just a glitch that they couldn't overcome until they really customized it some more. But the next thing is full screen apps. Now, this is something that I've been waiting for since I started using the Mac, which was forever. I started using it when I was 5 years old. But anyway, let's say I'm watching an HTML5 video, and if you know anything about HTML, the first thing you'll note is that it sucks at full screen. I've yet to see an HTML5 video that has full screen, and the way to do that is if you're watching an HTML5 video and you'd like full screen, you'd have to use Windows computer or something. But anyway, I was just using that as an example. But for anything, Safari did not have full screen, and that was something that I really didn't know why that was. That just didn't make sense to me for Apple not to have full screen in their browser. But anyway, to do that now, all you have to do is press this, and you get a full screen version of Safari, which is really nice, I guess. I really don't use it. I've maybe used it once or twice. Um, I don't use it other than for watching HTML5 video because there's no full screen for it. But I mean, some people might like it just to get all your desktop stuff out of the way and just be completely focused on your browser. I think it's an okay feature, but of course I don't really use it that often. And then again, you can just press it to go back to your regular screen. So that's just something that you can use to block everything out, and it makes it a lot nicer, I guess. So that's pretty much it with the full screen thing. I mean, it's pretty simple. Trying to think about anything else. The applications and all that stuff in your dock has stayed really the same. Of course, Launchpad is in your dock, and you can click that to go back to Launchpad. One other thing that may not matter to most of you, but if you still use maybe really old Mac OS 10 apps, like from Mac OS 10.1 or 2, this will be a big thing that you need to take into consideration. I'm sorry. It's that Mac OS 10.7 line does not support Rosetta. I'm sure 80% of you don't know what this is, but Rosetta is a program that was developed for Intel Macs that allows them to run PowerPC apps. Now, you can't do this with Lion. I have the old version of IE that was out for the Mac like 6 years ago, or even older than that. When you click this, it says you can't open this application Internet Explorer because PowerPC apps are no longer supported. So Apple's really trying to get rid of the PowerPC, and it seems like it's working. You can't run Intel apps on, or any Intel app or Rosetta app on an Intel Mac that has Lion on it now. So that's one thing that I'd really consider if you're using a really old version of Adobe Flash Player or Adobe Flash or Photoshop or anything like that. You really want to take into consideration what you're doing because you won't be able to run those apps. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. But other than that, it's a great new addition to Mac OS 10. It's got a lot of new great features. I'd recommend upgrading. It's if you didn't watch the keynote, it's only I think $30 on the Mac App Store. Maybe even cheaper than that. I really don't remember, but it's below $30. You can just purchase it in the Mac App Store. So yeah, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me. And thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.